want to bring in Lauren Leader-Chivee. You've seen her before on our show. She's an author and the CEO of the All In Together campaign, which is committed to ensuring women's voices are fully represented. Amen to that, sister. Lauren, it's really good to have you back again. Let me, just because I want to get your outrage like fully inflamed, I want to read another portion of this letter that says the Me Too campaign has resulted in men being punished severely and losing their jobs. Here we go. Quote, while their only wrongdoing is to have touched a knee, tried to steal a kiss, talked about intimate things at a business dinner, or sending sexually explicit messages to a woman who was not attracted to them. I'm going to let you sound off because I think you'll do it more eloquently than I can.
Oh, thank you. I've been thinking all day about how to do that. So I have to say, I know the French culture very, very well. You might have discerned from my last name that I'm deeply connected to France. And I will tell you that there is a different sensibility around some of these things in France, and there's this sort of national identity around sexuality and sexual freedom, which has absolutely nothing to do with the issue at hand, which has nothing to do with flirting or with, you know, sort of crossing a line in a subtle way. What the Me Too movement is about isn't about an abuse of power. And fundamentally, that is the issue that women are confronting. It is not an issue, I don't think anyone would say that somehow now we are no longer allowed to flirt. But when it's the instance of a senior man in a position of power and influence, whether that's a corporate executive or a media executive, who then inappropriately makes sexual advances on somebody who is a colleague or someone who's a subordinate, it's inappropriate. And it's inappropriate because the message it sends to women is that in order to be successful in X, Y, or Z environment, that they have to respond positively to the sexual advances of a male colleague in an environment where they should be talking about work. Yeah. And, you know, obviously, when we're talking about, there are 1,000 shades of gray without question.
Sure.
And in fact, I spent all day today with corporate executives talking with them about the complexities of the shades of gray, because we don't want men in the workplace to be so fearful of backlash that they won't even have dinner with women colleagues anymore. That's a problem. But that is not what this is about, and we are nowhere near that moment.
So to that end, I actually had this like very candid conversation with someone a male that I have a long friendship with, deeply respect, and I'm very close to. And I was sort of saying, this confounds me. I'm so confused. Yeah. He was saying that a lot of men are unsure now how to behave and are feeling sort of stymied. And I don't get that.
I know, because it's hard to get for women.
I said to him, to me, it's common sense. It's just about respect and dignity and mutual understanding that we all, you know, put our pants on one leg at a time. We all deserve to be here, and we all have equal value. Why is that? Why does that have anything to do with, you know, somebody getting pinned up against a wall or being flashed?
Well, I mean,
by,
look, I think, you know, part of what I'm trying to help organizations think about is that, look, there are some very bright red lines, and the law is pretty clear about it. The EEOC put out guidelines about this in 1993, and the fundamental issue is disparate power, right? That men in positions of power cannot proposition or in any way make women who are subordinate to them uncomfortable, nor can they do that with colleagues in an environment that implies that their jobs or their professional livelihood depends on their reciprocation. Yeah. And that is a very clear and bright red line. But I think the concern, because so much of this has exploded on social media, I am hearing that a lot of men in business in lots of different corners are worried that their reputations will be attacked if they are perceived to do something that's inappropriate. And I think, look, businesses I'm talking to are very clear about those lines. They're not prosecuting or firing people,
of course,
because they flirted at a party. But they are going to encourage people, especially when they're in positions of power and authority, to take that very seriously and to be treating their female colleagues with the respect that they deserve.
Oftentimes, I'm going to say two things. We have to wrap it up. I could talk to you for an hour on this topic, 2 days on this topic.
Let's do a whole show on it.
Let's do. I would love that. Messages often get lost in movements, and I think this is an opportunity for further definition and clarity to come to the forefront. And let's be honest, every time in society when there's a pendulum effect. We have to go all the way out, and there will be an extreme, and we settle somewhere in that juicy middle where the good stuff can happen, the hard stuff can happen. And I want to warn, I guess, that we're getting close to this juicy stuff in the middle. Lauren, I always love talking to you. Let's do it again.
Okay.